All right, y'all. I didn't plan on coming back tonight at all. But I just realized that this got released earlier while I was in all the rabbit holes of other stuff. So I'm going to give it a minute. Hopefully the notification will go. I don't know if it will. This channel seems to not be getting notifications at all anymore. So sorry about that. And sorry about the late notice. I didn't anticipate this to even be going on today or tonight. So I'm going to give it a few seconds. Actually, I'll play. Let me see. I haven't uploaded. The dogs are acting up like a fool. They're acting up. Hey, Heartland Honey. Hey, Cool Gamer. We're back again. Today's been wild. Today is a wild day in all of this stuff. I'm going to play a quick 30-second intro and hopefully maybe it'll go out. We'll see. Y'all, buckle up. First of all, I want to give a trigger warning. Please understand this is a heavy topic. This article is very disturbing, to say the least. And I don't want anybody to be affected negatively by it. So let me actually put the trigger warning one up because it's a heavy topic. So I'm going to get through this. Hey, everybody coming in. I know we're back. Lorraine. Oh, I was not expecting this, and I don't think it's the full article that they intended on releasing, but it's bits and pieces of it. So I'm still like, there's a lot to go. Sorry, y'all. I know it's late, but I could not talk about this with you guys and go through this because I called Kyle and I'm like, you're not even going to believe it. And I was like talking to him and saying stuff through it. By the way, Brianna had gifted 10 memberships on the last live. I didn't catch her in time to thank her. I didn't even see it, to be honest. So I did reach out and thank her, but welcome to the island for those of you that were gifted memberships. And again, thank you, Brianna, for that. That was very sweet of you. So let's just go ahead and jump on in it. Hey, Aurora. Hey, Mercedes. Hey, Heartland Honey again. Today's a weird day. Yeah, today's a weird day. Zoya, LG. Okay. Okay, nosy neighbor. Go lay down. Go lay down. It's not the Dexter show right now. Go lay down. Go lay down. I don't have treats up here to give you. I don't. No, and Dad's not home. Can you say hi? You are so bad. He's so bad. He's so needy. They all want attention. Yeah, I know you need treats. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No, you can't climb in my lap. He's like, I'm going to get in your lap, Mom. I'm going to get in your lap. Just wait. Hold on. Let me get rid of him. Ouch. Ow. He's pulling my hair. Oh, I know. You're such a brat. You're the biggest brat in the world, huh? Oh, you're going to get the zoomies, not in the office. Not in my office. No. He's such a... Ow! You got that dirty claw. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. No zoomies. Oh, Liam, you outside to get extra treats, please. And thank you. Go get up. Go. Right down there. Go. Okay. We got rid of one. Are you coming back with Mom? Come on. Hurry up and get in here so I can shut the door. All right. He's so bad. Oh, he's back already. He does miss Daddy. See, he's already back. Dexter, go to Aaliyah. Hold on, you guys. Sorry. Go to Aaliyah. Come on. Come on. No, Mom's not going to run. Come on. Call in Aaliyah. Go get her. Go get her, Dex. No, Mom's not going down there with you. Go. Go. Aaliyah, get it. Go get the treats. When I turn on, says, here, get Dexter. Call it. Okay. Kenzie's like, why are the lights on in the house? Come on, Bella. All right. Okay. Whew, crazy dog. He's like, nope, you're going to pay attention to me. Okay, buckle up, you guys. So for those of you, they're going to have all sorts of pop-ups, aren't they? Okay, we're just going to go through it. Okay, so those of you that don't understand what this is the Blaze Media, which is an affiliate of Glenn Beck. Basically, I don't know if he owns it anymore completely, if he just owns a portion of it. Anyways, this is his media company. That's what I'm going to call it because it was his investigative people. This is his team of people. So this is the article that they didn't release. So we're going to read through it. Please understand that this needs a heavy trigger warning. We are discussing real people's lives, real victims, real issues here. So although there's a lot of shit in here that you're going to go, what the hell? This is real people. Okay, so we're going to read through it together. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Recently, a number of unsourced allegations from unnamed sources familiar with the situation claimed a pattern of sexual misconduct involving OUR founder Tim Ballard. Since Blaze Media's audience has donated to Operation Underground Railroad over the years and would want to know the truth regarding these allegations, Blaze News spoke with several women who have worked with Ballard. This is heavy shit. These women, some of whom went on Operation Underground Railroad rescue missions and others who considered going on missions but never did, were willing to speak on the record to us about their experiences with Ballard and OUR. Broadly speaking, the women who spoke to Blaze News alleged that Ballard manipulated them and/or attempted to coerce them into crossing important professional boundaries during their time at OUR. Ballard and his wife, Catherine Ballard, also spoke with Blaze News and responded to many of the women's allegations. Their responses are included here, as are several statements that they have given to other outlets and/or posted to social media. OUR officially refused to respond on record regarding the specific allegations against Ballard, but Blaze News did speak with several sources familiar with OUR operations who agreed to share some insights regarding OUR undercover work. All right, people, buckle up. Here we go. Hey, Vic. I do too, Autumn. I do too, especially after reading this. The Couple's Ruse. Sound of Freedom, the film starring Jim Caviezel. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion, but okay. About the horrors of child sex trafficking became a smash hit at the box office this summer, raking in over $212 million worldwide, and thus becoming one of the highest earning independent films of all time. Wonder why that was. Through a dramatization, the film depicts the real life work of former Department of Homeland Security Special Agent Tim Ballard. Messiah Complex. About 10 years ago, Ballard founded Operation Underground Railroad, an organization designed to rescue victims of human trafficking, in my opinion, or create them. According to its website, the organization has had remarkable success, rescuing over 6,000 victims and apprehending more than 4,000 predators. In an apparent attempt to provide better safety for mission operatives, in recent years, Ballard began implementing a mission tactic that he had dubbed a couple's ruse. In a couple's ruse, a woman pretending to be Ballard's wife or girlfriend would accompany him on rescue missions. Then when Ballard, himself posing as a sexual predator, found himself in a situation in which he was pressured to engage in sex with strippers, prostitutes, or even children, he could refuse on the grounds that he didn't want to upset his girlfriend. In other words, the fake girlfriend would block for Ballard and he would block for her should the need arise. We heard him say that the other day in the statement that he had given. Whatever. Okay, carrying on. One source familiar with OUR operations told Blaze News that such couples ruses are rare, while another stated that when involving benign gestures of affection, such as hand-holding, they can be effective means of protecting mission operatives. Nevertheless, some women affiliated with OUR rescue teams now claim that Ballard soon began abusing the couple's ruse and eventually used the ruse as a tool for sexual grooming. According to these women, Ballard, a married father of 9 and professed member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, initially implemented strict rules regarding the couple's ruse: no kissing on the lips and no touching or exposing private parts. Then they said Ballard gradually relaxed those measures before eventually dispensing with them almost entirely. For example, according to the women who spoke with Blaze News while on rescue missions, Ballard would sometimes share a bed with a woman posing as his girlfriend or invite her to shower in his bathroom, even though accommodations at a designated safe house provided separate bedrooms and bathrooms. Ballard, for his part, categorically denied ever having been alone, even briefly, in one of these safe houses with a female operative. OUR did not return a request for a comment confirming this claim. What are you guys saying so far? Nothing. I know, Brittany. This is too big, though. Ballard also reportedly sent to one of the victims a photo of himself covered in tattoos and only wearing underwear. That image then began circulating social media. And there you go with the word fuck above his penis. I mean, Tim, you fucked up. This is from the Twitter account Tim Ballard Exposed. On X, I think it's also on Facebook. The caption of that photo says, Tim Ballard has a habit of sending semi-nude images to the women he has groomed for sex or sexual acts. There is no allegation. It's all true. That will slowly all come out. Tim Ballard is desperate right now, trying to debunk truths and his predatory nature that he's doing any interview possible. All right, buckle up. It's going to get bad. During an appearance on the Adam Carolla show, which we went over, on September 29th, Ballard verified the photo but explained that it served legitimate operational purpose. He claimed the photo was taken after he had fallen asleep while having the tattoos, which he says were henna tattoos, applied in preparation for a mission. He stated the tattoo artist needed to take the picture so that she would have a frame of reference should she need to reapply the tattoos at a later date. It is unclear why tattoos in the groin region or an upper thigh would have been necessary for rescue missions, since they were unlikely to be seen. And a source familiar with OUR operatives denied that having henna tattoos applied was a normal component of OUR undercover work. Traffickers can smell the pheromones, this says. Yeah, just wait. According to the women who spoke with Blaze News, before they ever went undercover together, Ballard first wanted to ensure that he and his female counterparts in the couple's ruse had physical chemistry that would be obvious to those they would meet during an operation. Traffickers can smell the pheromones, he would say allegedly. He would allegedly say, impressing upon the women that their couple's ruse had to be believable, or otherwise the mission and their very lives might be at risk. There has to be real chemistry, he would insist, per one woman. Traffickers have to really believe you are in love with this person, and he wants you to get to that point before you're ever on the op, so that when you're on the op and you're with the traffickers and you're in these brothels and these strip clubs and in these places where you're trying to get intelligence, you're not breaking your cover at all. To that end, several women told Blaze News that Ballard encouraged them to participate in tantric massages before and while on couples' ruse. A tantric massage is an erotic massage that often involves participants laying naked or nearly naked together. For men, a tantric massage is called lingam, a Sanskrit word for penis that some tantric massage enthusiasts have translated to mean shaft of light or wand of light. In a screenshot of a text message, there's proof, apparently sent from a burner phone with Ballard's known code name, as confirmed by multiple sources, and a number that once belonged to Ballard, as confirmed by one source familiar with OUR operations. Ballard appears to have discussed tantric massages with at least one of the accusers, telling her it's not about learning some strange kinky moves. That's not it at all. I don't have any to teach anyway. It's just about making it real and tapping into tantric light, his text continued, according to the screenshot seen by Blaze News. Are y'all with me so far? If you need to check out, y'all, please do. I don't want this to. Yeah, Lorraine. Lorraine. Yes, I agree with you. Thank you, Britt. Hey, Language of Horses. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Thanks for stopping, you guys. This is a lot, y'all. This is so gross. Like, I think you will be surprised how fast we connect, he added in a follow-up text. When Blaze News asked Ballard about tantric massages, he initially appeared confused and claimed he was not at all familiar with the term. He then seemed to understand and likened tantric trainings to yoga or a breathing exercise that he claimed he used the words tantric, Reiki, and goddess or energy interchangeably to describe such trainings. Man, this guy's a spin master. Fucking spin master flex over here, little white peen. Ugh. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm probably going to be mean. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be mean because this is pissing me off. He insisted that participants always wore clothes during these tantric trainings and that others were always present and that zero massage was involved with them. He also suggested that tantric could be used to refer to the exotic, ritual kind of places that trainees would occasionally visit for more in-depth role-playing. The goal, he said, was to see how operatives perform in environments that more closely resemble those they will see on a mission. A source familiar with OUR operations denied the undercover training or in-field work involved tantric or any other kind of massage. Not for anybody else but Tim, I guess. According to the women who spoke to Blaze, Ballard was so concerned about the believability of the couples ruse that he frequently asked women to practice their couples ruse long before a mission ever took place. One woman claimed that Ballard came to consider the couples ruse a perishable skill that required regular honing. To that end, Ballard flew women across the country where they would practice their chemistry through tantric massages and other trainings, according to multiple women. I'm just going to tell you what I think right now. He's using this couples massage this couples ruse to openly, basically, have affairs on his wife. That's my opinion at this point. This seems like grooming to me. When asked about practicing couples ruses, Ballard told Blaze News that during OUR trainings, people pair up and pretend to be in a couples situation. You don't want the first time that they're together to be in a cartel setting. So you have to practice to make sure that this person knows what they're doing. He also insisted that such practices were always conducted in groups and that he would not have been alone with a female operative during such practice sessions. One source familiar with OUR operations told Blaze that Ballard was the only operative who ever practiced with women or sent explicit text messages to them in connection with the couples ruse. OUR did not return a request for comment seeking clarification of these issues. Through these couples ruses, both in the office and in the field, Ballard eventually engaged in sexual contact with some women and propositioned others, the women told Blaze News. As far as physical touching, he made it pretty clear that really the only thing that was not going to be considered, if need be, during an op was kissing on the lips. One woman said, everything else was pretty much a go, and honestly, more than just a go. It's something that I should anticipate and be prepared to make happen for the sake of the act. Another woman claimed that while on a mission, she and Ballard participated in several sexual acts with the exception of actual penetration. She also stated that her sexual contact ended at the end of their mission. Other women mentioned engaging in sexual acts and being in various states of undress with Ballard while on missions, sometimes even while at their private accommodations when no one else was around. According to the women, Ballard would argue that they had to maintain the appearance of a romantic relationship at all times during a mission because suspicious traffickers might be surveilling them at any moment. This motherfucker. It's really hard for me to just read this and be like stoic about it, y'all. Sorry. Ballard denied that he engaged in any physical contact beyond hand holding, arms, and around shoulders, stuff like that. He also alleged that some female operatives wanted to kiss him during a mission to put on a more convincing performance, but he always refused. There's no reason to do it. It's not appropriate. He claimed he would tell them. Why no kissing on the lips? That's kind of like, anyways. A source familiar with OUR operations denied that OUR would ever have approved any sexual contact between the couple's roost partners. Apparently, to make couples roost as convincing as possible, Ballard allegedly requested all women to first have a Brazilian wax, which would remove all pubic hair from their private areas before they went on an operation. According to a text message viewed by Blaze News that was sent by a phone allegedly operated by Ballard, Ballard explained that pretty much 100% of the sex tourists have Brazilian waxes done. When the alleged victim told Ballard she'd never had a Brazilian wax before, he expressed surprise. Wow, you never did Brazilian before? He wrote, according to a screenshot seen by Blaze News. For the record, I didn't tell you to, he quickly added with a winking emoji. These are text messages that the investigative journalist that wrote this article saw. Perhaps most disturbing about the alleged Brazilian wax request is that it seems entirely unnecessary for a mission to rescue trafficked children. The women who accompanied Ballard were ostensibly, I need fucking glasses and a grammar lesson, brought along to play a part in a couple's roost, nothing more. Since Ballard wanted a fake girlfriend to block unwanted sexual advances from others, and his own couple's roost rules forbade exposing private parts, it's unclear why the women would need to have a Brazilian wax to fit in with their other sex tourists, or how he would have known if they had declined to get one. Good question. Ballard categorically denied to Blaze News that he ever asked a female op to get a Brazilian wax, and a source familiar with OUR operations also told Blaze News that a female operatives would never have been required or recommended to get one as part of OUR protocol. But yet there's text messages. Okay. To those in the outside world, this might seem obvious, and that engaging in sexual contact for the sake of helping trafficked children is wildly inappropriate. But the women who spoke with Blaze News indicated that Ballard gradually implemented an extensive and very manipulative plan to convince them to participate in things they otherwise would never have considered doing. One of the main tactics Ballard used, they claimed, was to lean on their desire to help victims. Is there anything you wouldn't do to save a child? He would allegedly ask. According to one woman's summary, in preparation for a possible mission, Ballard said something to the effect of, "This is going to be a really seedy place. What if this happens? Would you be willing to do this? Well, what if I need this? Would you be comfortable doing that?" And then it's all about testing those limits, she added. The women also claimed that Ballard would then badmouth unnamed women who had allegedly gone on couples roosts in the past, slamming them as crazy and claiming that they had fallen in love with him along the way. Such stories, perhaps, seemingly motivated the women to prove their mettle and their devotion to the cause by trying to outdo their supposed predecessors on the couple's roost. This just makes me sick. These women volunteered and put their lives on the line thinking that they were helping rescued trafficked children. And meanwhile, in my opinion, were nothing but groomed and used as sex objects for a fucking prick, disgusting, oh God. Be nice, Becky. When they found themselves questioning the legitimacy of tactics involving sexual contact, they often doubted their own instincts, relying on Ballard's breadth of knowledge about the rescue missions to convince themselves that such tactics were normal. Just remember that Tim's the expert and you're learning. Woman recalled telling herself, just don't question him. Just do it as he's right and you were wrong. It's that whole thing of breaking them down to nothing, to doubt themselves, to not have a voice. This, in my opinion, is predatory. She also claimed that sometimes an associate of Ballard, whose identity is unclear, but whose role appears to have been included booking flights for those going on OUR missions, would remind her about Ballard's superior field expertise. Don't assume you know better than Tim, he'd say. She claimed he hates it when these women he brings undercover start thinking that they're smarter than him. He's been doing this for 20 years. He knows so much more than you. Well, guess what, Timmy boy? We're about to know a lot about you. And you're going to get to know a lot of us real well because we're not going to ever let up. This won't go away. Ballard even allegedly told some of them that engaging in sex play with him might improve their marriages. Even as he also allegedly told them not to tell their husbands about what they were doing. You can't take that sexual charge home, one accuser claimed he told her. Another woman claimed that Ballard repeatedly warned her that should she fail in her couple's ruse mission, she would have wasted the hard-earned money that honest donors had entrusted to OUR. She said that he also told her that a poor performance from a fake girlfriend had ruined a mission in the past. I was feeling like I have to prove to him that I won't misuse donors' dollars, she explained to Blaze News. Y'all okay? Let me check with you guys for a minute. Y'all okay? Everybody okay over here? Hey, love is a 4-letter word. This is Lorraine. That's exactly like, this is like the scene out of Pretty Woman, and they can't kiss on the lips, but he can have a, oh God, this is just beyond belief right now. Another common theme for the women who spoke with Blaze News is that Ballard would use spiritual manipulation to coerce them into sex. Most, if not all, of the women who spoke with Blaze News have had some affiliation with the LDS Church at some point in their lives. And in many cases, he would cite for them a passage from the Book of Mormon in which a man kills another man at the promptings of the Holy Spirit. According to multiple women, the purpose of this reference was to demonstrate that sometimes the Holy Spirit asked people to perform unconventional tasks, presumably such as engaging in extramarital sexual contact during couples' ruses. Ballard told Blaze News that he had no recollection of citing anything like that. He and his wife, Catherine, both stated that they regularly quote scripture, especially Jesus's dire warning in the Gospel of Matthew that if anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a huge millstone hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea to support the work of saving children. It's our testimony about why we're doing what we're doing, Catherine Ballard told the Blaze News. I can't believe you disgusting fucking... Sorry, y'all. Give me a moment. This just... I literally... I feel sick reading this. He groomed these women under the guise that they were helping rescue trafficked children. He exploited them for his own sick pleasure. Despite the importance that obvious physical chemistry supposedly carried in a couple's ruse, Ballard, whom some described as a bully, would also insist that the women stay silent about their alleged sexual encounters with him. In addition to keeping the information from their husbands or their boyfriends, Ballard reportedly instructed them to not tell their direct supervisors or other leads at OUR, some of whom are Ballard's relatives. Keep it in the family. Nobody would ever understand why we did those things, he would allegedly say, one woman said. Then after women had engaged in sexual activity with him, Ballard used their encounters to his advantage, holding those encounters over their heads to pressure them even more forcefully into silence. The women claimed, we will have so much shit on each other. We will be deterred into silence on all things forever, he allegedly wrote in a text, according to a screenshot seen by Blaze News. Mutual assured destruction. And people wonder why these victims are scared. Many women also claim that Ballard frequently demanded that they erase the digital traces of his conversations with them, including and perhaps especially explicit conversations. We heard that before too. He had me delete everything, one woman explained to Blaze News. He would call at night to say, hey, you scrubbed your phone, right? He had me delete so much, she later added. One woman made similar statements. Because of Ballard's insistence that the women regularly wiped their messages. They had scant physical evidence to share to support their allegations, they indicated to Blaze News. That was an assumption I had made previously. Ballard told Blaze News that protocol at the end of an operation is to clear the text. Once the operation is over, he added, every operator knows you kill the communication or any of the content that it's not the material to prosecution, because that's the smart thing to do. In his conversation with Blaze News, Ballard repeatedly laminated that he had to discuss operational protocols such as wiping phones to defend himself. He feared that doing so would likely compromise future operations. A source familiar with OUR operations indicated that in some circumstances, operatives may have been encountered to delete their texts after an operation. The women who spoke with Blaze News said they eventually began experiencing debilitating emotional and psychological side effects as a result of what they had allegedly done with Ballard, what they had allegedly been coerced into doing, and or what they had allegedly been done to them. Some mentioned suffering reoccurring nightmares, panic attacks, or bouts of depression. Others admitting having difficulty trusting others and entering therapy. One woman partially attributes the collapse of her marriage to her time with Ballard. Despite these sometimes severe after effects, some of the women still hesitated to report Ballard's alleged behavior to those at OUR or to others in their communities for fear of retribution. He has threatened to destroy our lives if we speak out, one woman said. I have 1,000 bricks and you only have one, Ballard alleged, warning another after she confronted him about his alleged behavior, she told Blaze News. But their fear is not limited to Ballard or to his supposed allies at OUR. Many women also expressed to Blaze News a deep concern about the potential fallout of their accusations from the media and the public at large. The paranoia of what could happen, the backlash of all this, I mean, it's enough to physically make me feel sick a lot of the time because I don't want all that. I don't want all that negative attention, one woman admitted. Their concerns are hardly without merit. Now in the fall of 2023, a full 6 years after the start of the Me Too movement, many in the U.S. have grown wary of accusations, especially false accusations, such as those levied against Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. That's one of their favorite things. Being used in an attempt to tarnish the character and ruin the career of an influential person. Even recent allegations made against actor and podcaster Russell Brand have met with strong visceral opposition, as many have begun to see such accusations as little more than a leftist tactic to prevent someone from speaking truth to power. The women who spoke to Blaze News are very aware of the current cultural climate regarding accusations of sexual misconduct. They also know that some people will likely dismiss their allegations as just another attempted political hit job now that Ballard has teased a run for the U.S. Senate seat, currently occupied by Mitt Romney. Romney has stated that he will not seek re-election. The women further know that many Americans hold Tim Ballard in high esteem, especially after watching The Sound of Freedom. They know because they once held him in high esteem as well, and they seem to feel betrayed by his alleged conduct behind closed doors. For these reasons, and perhaps others, the women claimed that they had always intended to keep the investigation into Ballard within the confines of OUR. We loved OUR to the point that we were willing and devoted to it. So there was no reason to go public, one woman explained. She also added that she and other accusers compiled with a request for an internal investigation, presumably from OUR officials. We did that. It was quiet, she said. In his conversation with Blaze News Media on Monday, Ballard indicated that he had only a general idea of what he had been accused of doing. Nevertheless, he had already begun publicly responding to some of those general allegations. On September 18th, he issued a statement through the Spear Fund where he is now a senior advisor. Ballard's full statement is as follows. As with all the assaults on my character integrity over the many of the years, the latest tabloid-driven sexual allegations are false. They are baseless inventions designed to destroy me in the movement we have built to end the trafficking and exploitation of vulnerable children. During my time at OUR, I designed strict guidelines for myself and our operators in the field. Sexual contact was prohibited, and I led by example. Given our meticulous attention to this issue, any suggestion of inappropriate sexual contact is categorically false. Well, kind of seems like that's bullshit, Tim. This following week, Ballard posted to his Instagram page. Sorry, guys. My lips are dry. This following week, Ballard posted to his Instagram page 2 videos addressing the allegations. In the first video, which appears to have been spliced or to have experienced technical difficulties, Ballard repeatedly lavishes praise and homage to the women who have helped him pull off the couple's ruse. Hundreds, maybe thousands of children have been rescued using this amazing tactic, he claims. We already watched that bullshit. The second video features a woman whose face has been obscured, but who identifies herself as Natalia. Natalia claims to have performed multiple couples ruses with Ballard and avers that his conduct was always above board. There was, again, absolutely zero sexual contact, touching, anything inappropriate of that nature from start to finish, she emphasizes. We watched that last night. Last week, Ballard also shared with Adam Carolla what he believed was the origin of the allegation that he showered with his couple of ruse partners. He told Carolla that on one particular mission in the Dominican Republic, which he claimed saved 27 children who had been locked up in a chicken coop, he ended up showering with a female op after a mud-based couples massage. However, he insisted that both participants were wearing bathing suits and that their innocent actions while in the shower, we did not even touch each other, he told Carolla, were concealed from others in the massage room by a towel. Once he and the woman shared that awkward anecdote with others, the rumor mill distorted the story to imply that he took showers with his couple's ruse partners, he said. Ballard's wife, Catherine, appeared with her husband for part of the interview with Carolla. She told Carolla that her husband is doing what he needs to do to rescue these children. And I know, she added with emphasis, that he has done it in a way of complete faithfulness to me. Catherine also made a solo appearance on a recent episode of the Rod Arquette Show podcast. On it, she assured host Rod Arquette that she was very aware of the couple's ruse and its purpose for a rescue mission. She claimed that her husband and his ruse partners never did a couple's ruse without training first, though she did not elaborate on what kind of training was involved. She also alleged that there were a couple of times when Tim was propositioned during a training like, hey, here's my hotel card. In those instances, her husband had the women dismissed from the team, Catherine. Catherine then reiterated to the Blaze News that she still believes in her husband's fidelity. The couple's ruse was created to protect his relationship with me, she said. It's a way to stay virtuous, you fucking dumbass. Sorry, y'all. I don't even... According to what Glenn said, this is 5 women that they talked to. I don't even know what to say right now. Several accusers, including at least some who spoke with Blaze News, have since hired an attorney, Suzette Rasmussen, to represent them. On Thursday morning, Rasmussen stood at the steps of the Utah Capitol to read a statement on behalf of her clients who have chosen to remain anonymous at this time. Here's the full statement. We are choosing to give a public statement about our experiences with Tim Ballard. Earlier this year, complaints were filed that opened the door for an internal investigation. We now stand together to affirm the truth behind these allegations. We watched this press conference. Our involvement with Operation Underground Railroad was rooted in our commitment to fighting against human trafficking. But while engaging in that noble cause, we were subjected to sexual harassment, spiritual manipulation, grooming, and sexual misconduct. Though we value our privacy as we work to rebuild our lives, we also feel a responsibility to speak out and state unequivocally that these allegations are true. We acknowledge the risks involved in challenging someone as prominent as Tim Ballard. We will reveal our stories in our own time and in our own way and on our own terms. But for now, we chose to remain anonymous. We wish to express our gratitude for the outpouring of support from those who have responded and commented to the media and social media posts. We also want to extend our support and solidarity to all the survivors of harassment and abuse of any kind. We believe you, and we are standing by your side as you embark on your own healing journey. The women also gave Blaze News another statement via Rasmussen regarding their allegations against Ballard. We had no intention of going after Tim legally until he chose to publicly deny any wrongdoing. He has threatened us, attacked us, and continues to lie and cause further trauma. When we finally started to reach out to one another after being isolated and told to distrust one another, we discovered the extent of Tim's lies and realized how much he has manipulated, used, and profited off of us and so many others. We cannot stand by and allow him to do this anymore. On Monday, Rasmussen announced that she is preparing a lawsuit in connection with the allegations, which she claimed had been known to OUR officials for several months. For many in Blaze Media's audience, the story may feel almost personal. After all, Blaze TV hosting founder Glenn Beck has had a relationship with Ballard that goes back years. Many of Beck's listeners have also donated generously to Operation Underground Railroad in the past, as it was once affiliated with other nonprofits promoted by Beck. According to Beck, his audience has raised over $100 million for various charities, including OUR, in just 10 years. That's true. Between Glenn Beck and Tony Robbins, those are two of the biggest donors. After Rasmussen read the public statement on behalf of some of Ballard's accusers, all of whom were former employees or contractors who worked closely with OUR, Blaze News was able to independently verify the OUR employment of two women. OUR issued another public statement that did not directly respond to a number of the questions asked by Blaze News. Operation Underground Railroad received an allegation of behavior that violated company policy by then CEO Tim Ballard. The organization immediately placed Mr. Ballard on administrative leave and launched an independent external investigation of the allegation. At the conclusion of the investigation, as previously stated, OUR Mr. Ballard resigned. Mr. Ballard's alleged misconduct does not represent OUR's values or others within our organization. We expect all employees to follow appropriate protocol and to conduct themselves in the performance of their duties consistent with such values. To protect our operators and other law enforcement partners in the field, we will not comment further publicly about our operating procedures. To cover your own asses. OUR is dedicated to combating sexual abuse and stands with anyone who has been victimized. OUR is sensitive to the privacy concerns of any individuals affected by this and is committed to upholding our duty to protect their anonymity. OUR's mission does not change, and we are committed to continuing our domestic and international efforts in collaboration with law enforcement to rescue any and all from the scourge of human trafficking. Per OUR, Ballard left the organization permanently in late June, just a couple of weeks before The Sound of Freedom was released in time for the July 4th holiday. And the woman suggested to Blaze News that removing Ballard from OUR while still preserving its reputation had always been their ultimate goal. I thought we had won, one woman said. The goal was accomplished, which was to remove the cancer from the organization and still allow it to continue even stronger than ever. That was the goal. Ballard disputed that he left on account of the investigation, telling Blaze News that he always intended to leave OUR by May 11th, 2023, to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest with the film. This man is... He also claimed that he began announcing his intention to leave OUR last October and voluntarily resigned in the first week of May. A source familiar with OUR denied that Ballard ever made such announcements or that Ballard left the organization in early May. The source confidently stated that Ballard left as a result of the internal investigation regarding alleged sexual harassment. Sorry, I got to take a drink. I need a drink. When asked for a comment by Blaze News regarding the allegations against Ballard, Glenn Beck provided the following statement. I find the allegations against Tim Ballard deeply troubling. I can only hope that the truth prevails, justice is served, and all involved will use the free gift of Christ and repent, turn to him, correct their errors, and let the atonement of Jesus Christ work miracles in their lives. It is the only thing that can repair brokenness. My intentions and those of the thousands in my audience who have generously contributed to OUR were to help save God's children from the scourge of human trafficking. May the Lord heal this mess so that this important work can continue. And there she be. What about the victims, Glenn Beck? I gave you grace last night, not so much tonight. I'm sick. This is I don't even know what to say. I am like dumbfounded. This man is the most manipulative, grooming, predatory. He used the mission of trying to save trafficked children, which unfortunately trafficking really exists. It really does exist. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like what it does in The Sound of Freedom. Yeah. Yeah, Lorraine, he absolutely that last statement right there. What about the fucking victims? Do you understand the coercion and the manipulation? Just reading that, and that's just a tiny little bit. He only cares about himself and his sexual desires and his money. Like, I my heart breaks for those victims. I don't know them. My heart goes out to them. I can't imagine the fear they feel. I can't imagine the intimidation that they feel. I can't imagine the embarrassment that they feel. But I mean, no matter how many times I can say they shouldn't feel any of that, they were manipulated, used, abused by, in my opinion, a covert narcissist. I'm sorry for them. Like, I am so sorry that he used your vulnerability and your desire to help save children to exploit you. Like, yeah, wolf powers too. Yeah. I don't even. Oh yeah, much more is going to come out. This is just. He used them. Yeah, he groomed them. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it again. You will never convince me that these other guys didn't know. Somebody knew, and there was obviously one of his close confidants that was helping schedule these airplane tickets and drive it in their heads that Tim was basically their master. He was the one that, how dare you, don't ever question his, like, what? Well, Glenn Beck, well, you say that people need to repent and atone. I tell you, burn in fucking hell, you pigs. Every one of you that knew of this, that knew that this was going on and helped cover it up, you all deserve the exact same shit as Tim Ballard, in my opinion. You all deserve to rot in hell. Even though you're LDS and don't really believe in the levels of hell, I hope you get the lowest level of fucking. This is sick, disgusting, vile. He is a predator, in my opinion. Oh yeah, they got to act like they don't know what's going on because, they got reputations and millions of dollars to protect too. How fucking disgusting. And this is what people are running around saying is that what a hero looks like. Oh yeah, he's a fucking hero to you incel dumbasses hiding in your mama's basement that don't even know what life really is. He's such a fucking hero that he's making actual trafficking out to be a joke when in reality there's people that are being trafficked every fucking day in every city in our country and around the fucking world. And he has a messiah complex that thinks that, oh God. How do you guys feel after reading this? I can't say as though I'm shocked, but I think I'm angry or just knowing the manipulation tactics, the Brazilian waxing, the flying them over to practice these things, the calculation and the stories that he came up with to cover the very things that he knew were going to say, the way he held it over their heads and threatened them. Yeah, is my life. That's why I started as soon as Kyle pointed out, so my other half, his name is Kyle, for those of you that are new, he's been gone this week. So when he pointed out to me what was going on with this and the Sound of Freedom movie, and what happened was I was able to connect it to people in our community on YouTube that were promoting this. And they're slimy, grimy creators that it's all about self-serving shit. So when I was able to connect those pieces, that's how I first got interested in this. And then I started looking into like all of the connecting pieces. We lived in Utah at the time too. And I had heard rumblings. We had been following some of this stuff, you know, and some of the rumblings before. But when I was starting to connect pieces of this, it bothered me so bad. And I got called a predator. I got called all sorts of things for being truthful and saying like something's not making sense here, and really speaking out, because trafficking victims are being hurt. Millions of dollars are being funneled into this organization. Also, Tim can groom some people. Granted, yes, have some trafficking victims been saved? Hopefully. Yeah. But also, there's been a lot of damage done to a lot of people because of him. My heart breaks for these victims. And I hate being a part of re-victimizing them and speaking out, but they deserve to have their story told. They deserve to have their story blow up as big as the fucking self-serving goddamn movie Sound of Freedom, that once again is no fucking more true than goddamn Men in Black shooting aliens with whatever guns. Come on now, people. It's time we wake up. Stop being scared of these conversations surrounding religion and politics and people like this, because these are the people that continue to get away with the harm that they do to people on the daily basis, because they have the use of fear-mongering. They use fear-mongering to shut down all of their critics, and people are afraid to talk about these topics. Meanwhile, they're getting away with this shit over and over and over again. You want to talk about grooming and predatory behavior? Well, there you go, Tim Ballard. I guess if there's an award for disgusting human being of Utah award for 2023, you definitely win that. He used religion, children, and politics. Yeah, all of it. Yeah, it's my life. Yeah. He covered his ass. He thought it through. And the fact that his wife is going along with these bullshit lies, she knows they're lies. Oh, you're right there. Oh God, yeah, it's my life. Oh, you're right there, because he's an Eagle Mound too. Linky, love you. I don't know what else to say, y'all. I just wanted to talk about this because it makes me absolutely furious. These are real women. These are real victims. He ain't no fucking hero. Right? Why not take his wife, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Lorraine. I feel the same way right now. Like I'm speechless. I'm dumbfounded by how slimy. This feels worse than I expected it to. And I'm not even a victim. I can't imagine how those women are feeling. My heart goes out to them. And the sad thing is these people with power and money, they'll destroy these women's lives. Some way, somehow, he will continue to try and destroy these women. I don't even know. No wonder why the church wants away from him. No wonder why the church denounced him. No wonder why OUR was getting ready to get rid of him. But all of them knew, and all of them act like this is such a shocking move, that this was out of the blue and it was all about this political bullshit. Fuck all of you for protecting this predator. Yeah, I did. I don't even have the energy to play that right now. Sorry for cussing y'all, but this is Lorraine, they better get in front of this. Well, I don't expect anything out of them anymore. I have no respect for any of them involved in this anymore. They're just as complacent, just like in the Frankie situation. They're ducking their tail and running. Meanwhile, they're the ones that promoted that abuse to happen to so many families. They paid her to abuse these families. Like, I don't know what else to say, y'all. It's one of those things where when I started like talking about the sound of freedom and really researching and digging into it, I've found some grimy stuff along the way. You kind of expect it, but some of it you just kind of chalk up to like, okay, well, this is kind of in the underbelly of the world. This is what they're dealing with. So you kind of chalk some of it up. And I was trying to be really like mindful and like not tunnel vision, and really just figure my way through it. But they reached out to what OUR had reached out to one of my friends who has a horrific story. And they wanted to use her story as part of their fundraising. That bothered me. That bothered me a lot. The fact that they're using real victim stories to promote this fundraising, and meanwhile, he is grooming these women. And all of these people with millions of dollars are acting like they didn't know about this, when meanwhile, this has been going on for quite some time. I'm sick about this. Oh my God, difficult. I feel sick. Like this feels worse than what I expected it to. I knew it was going to be bad, and I think it's going to continue to get bad. I didn't want to be right about this situation when I started discussing the sound of freedom and the crazy involvement and the overlap and all of that stuff. Like I didn't want to be right. I know a lot of us saw some of the writing on the wall. Those of you guys that have followed and like pay attention to these things, I'm definitely not the only one that saw this. By far, not the only one. Lynn Packer, Vice News, all of those investigative journalists that have been following this forever. Thank God for them. Thank God for these people who have made their voices heard. Thank God for these people for giving these victims a voice and making sure that they are heard. I guess that's the only thing I can thank you for, Glenn Beck, is actually giving them a platform to speak on, but fuck you the long way. They don't need to atone or repent for shit. You should be doing that, though, because I'm sure you knew a lot about this and are now acting so conveniently like you knew nothing. Yeah, wolf powers. Thank you, heart-shaped box. I got pictures coming to like hang up and all that stuff. But I still got 2 totes in here. This is the only room that like still has totes in it from our move. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you go for the night. I gotta go sit outside and like process. Like this is a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry, difficult research. Like I can't even imagine your experience. Like I can't even imagine being in your shoes. I was telling that to Kyle. I was asking him if he knew, because my other half was in here when we were talking earlier. And I said, "Do you realize who that is?" And he's like, I kind of caught on, but I wasn't really sure. And so I explained, and he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "How is she?" And I'm like, I don't know. She's so concerned about making sure everybody else is okay always. And like advocating for her family and other people. I don't know how she is actually, but I thought it was really cool that he asked that. But then we were talking about, thank God for people like you who have not given up the fight and continue to advocate and don't let this just slip under the rug. Like, thank God for strong women like you and so many others that continue to talk about this stuff and use their voices to be heard, because it's allowing victims like this to be heard, to get justice, for these people to end up where they should be. So thank you for all the work you do and continue to do, because this is too much. too much. Yeah, functions. This is a lot. Oh, I'm sure it is. I can't imagine. I honestly like I hate that you are so good at advocating because I hate the fact that you have to be doing what you're doing in the first place. Like I don't know how you are able to like I hope you take care of you and I hope that you are able to refill your cup because I know like even me being as disconnected as I am, like completely disconnected, it takes a toll. Like this shit's heavy and I can't imagine being in your shoes. Are you Tim Ballard, Jim? Jay? Go see Tim Ballard. He might have a way to help you out with that. Maybe you should get a uh maybe you should get a Brazilian. Goodbye. Call Tim Ballard up. He might have some ideas for that. Absolutely, Lanky. You are correct. God doesn't have a fee. It's my personal opinion. Yeah. Thank you, Al. Again, thank you so much. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry that I did this right before bed. For all of you that are victims of any type of abuse, grooming, coercion, all of that, my heart goes out to all of you. We got to keep talking about this. We got to continue the conversation because these people need held accountable, and we can't keep elevating these people to hero status when they're doing so much harm to so many people. Sending you all a bunch of hugs and good positive energy, and one foot in front of the other, we will continue to fight for change. Thank you all. Yeah, it's my life. Be careful over there in that area. Those people are weird now. Just joking. Thanks, Wolf Powers. Good night, Lorraine. Go run in the gym. Love you so much, too. Good night, Functions. I know, difficult research, but you need to take the compliment because you do exceptional work. And it's really hard for a lot of people to continue to fight on the daily. Like, I can't even imagine how exhausting it becomes. And to have the door slammed in your face and you continue to do it, you showing up says so much, so much. And yeah, you deserve the compliments because you've shown up and you continue to do. Good night, Aurora. Functions. All right, y'all. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I hope you guys all get some rest. And to the victims of Tim Ballard, my heart goes out to you. I hope that you understand that you are loved, you are worthy, and you didn't deserve any of this that happened to you. He's not a messiah. He's a creep. He's a groomer. He's a predator. And you can't blame yourselves for being vulnerable. We all are. You want him to save children. He's just a manipulator. Good night. Oh, and by the way, that's in my opinion, but sue me.